Welcome back, Alphas. You were never meant to blend in with the background noise. You were never built to crawl. And yet, for too long, you've watched the weak dance in masks, posturing like predators while feeding off your silence. They built illusions, crafted narratives so brittle, so hollow, that a gust of truth would snap them like dry twigs. And now, their fake front collapsed, and they're freaking out. You can hear it in their voice when they stutter through excuses. You can see it in their eyes, darting left and right, searching for a script that no longer fits the scene. The veil is gone, the charade is over, and they're standing there, trembling in the ruins of their own deception. They mocked your patience, they confused your stillness with surrender. You didn't play their game because you were playing something deeper, something bigger. They couldn't fathom that silence could be strategy, that solitude could be a crucible. While they screamed for attention, you built in shadows. You bled in silence. You turned wounds into weapons and loneliness into fuel. Every sleepless night, every backstab you didn't respond to, every time you swallowed your rage instead of lashing out, it was a deposit, a quiet investment. And now, the account is full and the time has come to collect. They thought they were winning because they were loud, because they had numbers, because they moved like a crowd. But crowds don't shake mountains, storms do. And you, Alpha, are the storm. You don't move in packs, you move in purpose. They prop themselves up with fragile lies, reputations built on gossip, applause from the cheap seats. But applause doesn't build strength, lies don't build legacy. And now the mirror's cracked. The fantasy is breaking under the weight of your realness. You didn't need to shout your truth, because the truth walks in without knocking. And now it's here, loud, heavy, undeniable. You see, they can't fake forever. No one can. Eventually the mask suffocates the face beneath it. Eventually, the play becomes a prison. And when that moment hits, when the mask cracks and the truth bleeds out, they don't cry because they're hurt. They cry because they're exposed. They cry because now the world sees what you always saw. You were never fooled by the glitter. You saw the rust beneath the gold paint. You saw the fear in their bravado, and now everyone sees it. Their empire of whispers has collapsed under the weight of your presence. Your rise has become their reckoning. But don't get soft. Don't extend pity to those who wore daggers behind smiles. This is not the time for mercy. It's the time for momentum. You didn't climb from the trenches to hold hands with the ghosts of liars. You came to claim. You came to dominate. You came to finish what you started. The collapse of their false front isn't the end. It's the beginning. Now that the smoke is cleared, your shadow looms. Your silence is louder than their screams. And they know it. That's why they're panicking. That's why they're scrambling. Not because you spoke, but because you stood, because you endured, because you didn't need the crowd to validate your
I'm Pat Dugan. I wear my heart on my sleeve and my story on my back. A city champion
crown. This war was never about proving them wrong. It was about proving yourself right. You didn't fight to change their mind. You fought to reclaim your soul. And now, it's yours. Battle-worn, blood-stained, unbroken. The crown doesn't come to those who demand it. It bows to those who survived without it. And you survived. You thrived. You watched the snakes choke on their own venom. You watched the wolves turn on each other when the meat ran out. And through it all, you kept rising. Not with noise, with intention, with fire, with grit. And now, Alpha, it's time to move without apologies. Let the ruins of their deception be the backdrop of your ascension. Let their panic be the echo of your purpose. They screamed to be seen. You were meant to be remembered. This is your era. This is your throne. And nothing fake can stand in your way anymore. That phrase rings like a war drum, doesn't it? Because deep down, you always knew. There would come a day when the fog lifted, when the lies would cave in under their own weight.
Facts.
When the illusion would burn in the fire you lit with every step forward. And now that it's here, now that the curtain is in shreds and the actors are exposed, they're scrambling like insects in the light. You can see them reaching, desperate to piece together a version of themselves that still holds shape. But it's too late. You don't fear what's broken, and they are broken beyond repair.
Facts.
They thought this world was a stage. They thought performance would outlast principle. They learned how to fake pain, fake power, fake purpose. They borrowed words they didn't earn and paraded around in stolen armor. But you're not made of borrowed strength. Everything in you was forged, not handed down, not inherited, built. Every scar a signature, every mistake a milestone. You didn't just survive, you transcended. While they were rehearsing, you were living. While they posted filtered versions of greatness, you were bleeding in silence, fighting battles they couldn't name, carrying weights they couldn't imagine. And now, they can't handle the weight of your truth. Because your truth walks heavier than their fantasy ever could. Look at them now, eyes wide, voices shaking, because the facade cracked and the real world came knocking. No filters, no scripts, just reality. And reality favors the relentless. It doesn't care about who had the most applause or who was the most liked. It rewards those who refuse to kneel when life shoved them to the ground. You didn't wait for permission. You didn't beg for support. You didn't ask for validation. You walked through the fire and now you carry it in your chest. That's what terrifies them. Not just your strength, but the fact that you built it without needing them. You see, the game was always rigged against you. The rules were designed to keep you second-guessing your worth. They smiled to your face and whispered your name in rooms meant to keep you small. But the funny thing about pressure is that it doesn't just break. It builds, and what it built in you is unshakable. You learn to read silence like scripture. You learn to trust your gut when the noise got too loud. You learn to walk alone and not flinch. That's the difference. That's the edge. They need a crowd to roar. You only need breath in your lungs. Their fear now, it's not new. It's just louder. They always feared this day. The day their fiction collapsed and your truth stood tall. The day they realized their voice couldn't drown out your presence.
Come on, bro.
You were always coming for the throne. They just didn't believe you'd survive long enough to claim it. But you did. And now that you're here, standing in the ruins of their projections, they're begging for mercy in ways they never begged for honesty. Don't give it. Mercy is earned. And they spent their chance selling masks instead of growing skin.
Hold on, Heathens.
You remind you why you can't slow down now, why you don't owe kindness to ghosts, because now the world sees. They see the difference between loud and lethal, between fake and forged, between echo and impact. And you are impact. You are the consequence of every lie told in your absence. The walking answer to every doubt they planted. The living proof that truth doesn't need to scream. It simply arrives and changes the atmosphere. And that's what you've done. You've changed everything. Without compromise.
Facts.
Without dilution. Raw. Real.
Uncut.
Ruthless when needed. So what now? Now you move different. Not softer. Sharper. You don't explain yourself to those who never listened. You don't slow your pace to comfort the insecure. You lead. You dominate. You walk in rooms like you own them, because spiritually, you do. This isn't arrogance. This is ownership. You paid in pain. You paid in patience. And now, you collect in power. And while they're still playing pretend, still performing strength, you're becoming the blueprint. You're not part of the system anymore. You're the correction. And no, it won't get easier, but you're not built for easy. You're built for legacy. The kind they whisper about in corners. The kind that sends shivers down spines because it can't be mimicked.
Facts.
The kind that doesn't fade when the hype dies. You don't chase moments.
Facts.
You create eras. They will study your silence. They will dissect your resilience. And the same ones who once doubted you will one day wear your words like gospel, quoting your journey while pretending they understood it from the start. But let them talk, because you'll be too busy building the next mountain to care. Let them freak out. Let them panic. Let them drown in the weight of their own lies. You didn't come this far to be humble in the presence of hypocrisy.
Facts.
You didn't endure the worst just to ask for space at their table.
Facts.
You built your own,
Facts.
and now they're begging for a seat. But not everyone deserves access. Some people only learn through distance. You did. You kept going. You kept building. And now, you are the product of everything they said you couldn't survive. And now that you stand at the edge of your becoming, you don't look for permission. You look for pressure. You don't ask if the world is ready. You let the world choke on the smoke of your rise. They hate that about you. That you didn't break when you had every reason to. That you kept your soul intact while they sold theirs for validation. That you can walk into a room and silence it without a word. Not because you command attention, but because you are the reminder that it's possible to be real in a world addicted to fiction. You are the antithesis of their excuses, a living contradiction to their mediocrity. They had the spotlight, they had the support, they had the cheat codes, but they didn't have the hunger, and that's where they lost. Because hunger is the currency of transformation. Hunger drives through walls. Hunger makes art out of agony. Hunger makes you ruthless with your time, focused with your energy, savage with your standards. And you stayed hungry in the drought, when they laughed, when they doubted, when they said you were too intense or too much. Now they wish they had your intensity. Now they try to mimic your discipline. But you can't copy what's carved in pain. Let them keep talking. Let them gossip. Let them recycle old versions of who you used to be. That's all they can hold on to now. Outdated files of a person who no longer exists. You've outgrown every label they tried to stick to you. Every lie they told is now a monument to your growth. They threw dirt on your name, not knowing you were soil. They buried you, hoping you'd stay silent. But you're not just alive, you're blooming. Violently, brilliantly, unapologetically. And the roots go deep now, deep enough to weather any storm they try to summon next. You don't owe them answers. You don't owe them closure. You don't even owe them your rage. Your existence is the consequence. Your success is the sentence. Your elevation is the execution. And you don't have to explain that to anyone. Let them wonder how you did it. Let them sit with their confusion. Because you know the truth. The war was never about them. It was always between you and who you refused to stay. You fought to kill the version of you that was too scared to rise. You shed skin like a ritual. You buried weakness like a funeral. And what emerged wasn't a version of you. It was the real you. Now that you've arrived, don't hold back. Not for love, not for comfort,
Facts.
not for nostalgia.
Facts.
Comfort didn't build you. Chaos did.
Facts.
Chaos and consistency.
And confusion.
The two forces they underestimated. You made peace with the madness inside you. You learned to sit in the fire instead of fleeing from it. And that fire, it's sacred now. It burns with purpose. It devours everything that doesn't belong. Excuses, doubt, small thinking, fake friends, dead weight. You don't carry what doesn't carry you. You're done dragging dead energy into new seasons. And yes, they'll call you heartless, cold, ruthless. But they don't know what it took for you to survive. They weren't there when you held yourself together with whispers, when you smiled through the ache, when you showed up with nothing but grit in your lungs. They don't know the cost of your strength, but they'll feel the price now, because you don't move like them anymore. You don't seek what they seek. You don't need what they need. You've transcended the approval of the masses. You've become your own source, your own storm, your own sanctuary. Now, every step you take is a statement. Every move you make is a reckoning. Not because you're trying to prove anything, but because you've already proven everything. And now, it's just momentum. Now it's about impact, legacy, power. Not power over others, but power over yourself. Mastery, discipline, the calm that shakes buildings, the confidence that doesn't need to scream. That's the level you've reached, and it terrifies them. Because they know they can't fake that. They can't buy that. They can't copy and paste your process. You had to live it. You had to bleed it. And they can't shortcut scars. So keep going. Keep rising. Keep shedding the need to be understood. Let the misunderstood become your signature. Let the silence become your signature. Let your results answer everything they thought they knew. And when they look at you now, confused by your presence, remind them, this is what happens when someone refuses to die in the dark. This is what happens when you bet on yourself, again and again, even when you had nothing left to give. This is what it looks like when someone becomes unbreakable. You didn't just survive, you outlived the lies, outworked the doubt, outlasted the betrayal. And now you owe it to yourself to go further, to become the nightmare of every system, built to keep you small, to burn so bright that they have to shield their eyes just to speak your name. Let them choke on the story. Let them drown in the silence you left behind. Let them witness what it looks like when the real ones rise, because you're not done. You're not even close. And if this was just the beginning, then the world better brace itself. So here we are, at the edge of everything they said you'd never reach, at the end of their illusions and the beginning of your reign. Their fake front collapsed. Now they're freaking out. And good. Let them. Let every whispered lie echo back and slap them in the face with truth. Let every moment they underestimate you become the chain around their ankles while you soar overhead. They played a game of smoke and mirrors. You became the mirror, unforgiving, reflective, final. This isn't revenge, it's revelation, a brutal unveiling of everything they pretended to be and everything you truly are. While they scrambled to maintain a lie, you were carving reality. One move, one day, one sacrifice at a time. And now, you are undeniable. You are not a moment. You are not a phase. You are not hype. You are legacy. You are consequence. You are the result of never quitting, never folding, never begging. You are what happens when pressure doesn't break someone. It builds a weapon. Let them have their panic. Let them flail in the ruins of their pretend empires. You don't need to gloat. You don't need to shout. Because when the truth shows up, it doesn't need an introduction. It just walks in, and everything fake starts shaking. And that's you now. You're the shift, the quake, the flood that drowns what's weak and unearned. No more shrinking. No more explaining. No more waiting. They had their moment. This one's yours. So walk forward, quiet, fierce, unrelenting, with the fire of 1,000 nights they never saw, and the strength of a storm they couldn't survive. Because from this point forward, there's no going back. The front is gone. The masks are off. And the throne you once dreamed of, it's yours now. Take it. Burn the script. Rewrite the ending. Be the storm they said would never come. And never, ever look back.
Never ever fold under pressure, ladies and gentlemen.
Dogs might seem like a breeze, but walking my dog.
Never ever fold under pressure. You heard? We right next to the trash incinerator. Let's jump on these hypocrites ass real quick, y'all. The fat ass Roland Martins and all them niggas. Real quick, y'all. Gotta drop some jewels for y'all. Let's go. This is what Trump did for y'all.
Of the black people should vote for Trump because I did more for black people than any president other than Abraham Lincoln. It's true.
That's a fact. That's a fact, because Barack Obama ain't even do nothing for black folk. You know what I mean? Straight, he was the only president to do something for black folk. Let's get into it. Let's go.
I did more than any president other than Abraham Lincoln. Think of it. Criminal justice reform. I took care of the black colleges.
Criminal justice reform. Who came up with that? Joe Biden and Bill Clinton? Come on, man. Let's go.
And universities, they would come up to Washington after 3 years. They said, why do you guys keep coming back? One of them, I got friendly with some of them, really good people. They said every year we come back looking for money. They do a great job. Black colleges and universities, they have very little money. And then you look at Harvard and these maniacs. And
you hear that? Harvard and the maniacs. It's crazy because he's supporting HBUC colleges, right? And like he said, he gonna find out what's going on with all these Harvards and this, that, and the third, which he's going after. He cut the funding to Harvard, right? But he didn't cut the funding to HBCUs, though. You understand me? He didn't cut no funding for HBCUs. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. You've been had, you've been bamboozled, you've been hoodwinked and all that shit. You heard? Facts. Let's go. But they ain't gonna talk about this on the news. They're gonna talk about the education executive order, but they ain't gonna talk about that HBCU because they was too busy slandering the man about that. You understand me? Let's go.
They have billions and billions of dollars. Very unfair. We're gonna have to look into that whole situation. We're gonna have to. And Elise did a very good job when she destroyed that person.
I'm kind of glad fat ass Roland Martin played this video because he did fund HBU to keep their funding rolling. And y'all see what's going on with Harvard, right?
That's right.
So, yeah, thanks for this video, fat ass Roland Martin.
Fucking hypocrite ass nigga.
I think did she plagiarize every document she ever wrote? I think so. The only thing she had going for her was nice glasses, if you like that look. No, Elise did a fantastic job. We all know that. She was amazing, and it really revealed what they were all about. But I took care of the black colleges, universities, opportunity zones.
Okay.
First of all,
listen to this,
I'm going to go reverse order. Opportunity zones. Straight line. There is absolutely no data that exists that shows opportunity zones greatly benefited African Americans. In fact, one of the Baltimore pastors who stood with Donald Trump when it was announced came on this show 6 months later and blasted them saying it has been working. Now, Senator Tim Scott, he's been running around touting opportunity zones as well. No data, no numbers, no economic numbers, no jobs, no nothing, just them saying, oh, we did a great job. Then you hear him talk about criminal justice reform. The dollars that are now guaranteed for HBCUs because the benevolent benefactor, Daddy Trump, actually made it possible. About $250 million for Hispanic serving institutions. Everybody together. That includes $85 million. Now, first of all, for people who don't know, how many HBCUs are there? So we're talking about 101, 102 HBCUs. Okay, so boy, that's great.
And he had an executive order for 102 HBCU colleges that they saying that he's racist. It's sad, man. It's sad, man. That's why history is very important, to record history, ladies and gentlemen, so you can go back and get the facts on these hypocrite ass niggas. You heard? Let's continue.
We feel great.
Who brought the most money in for historically black colleges and universities? Donald Trump. Who's the president?
What you have there is 9 seconds of him lying to a mostly white audience, and they like, oh boy, that's great. We feel great. That's a black face lying to them. We played you one clip earlier. Here's Donald Trump lying again when he spoke to Turning Point.
I funded the colleges and black colleges and universities. Nobody else did that. Nobody else even thought of it. And what we're doing.
All right. So now when that clip went out, Walter, you really got pissed off right there.
They cut it, ladies and gentlemen. He edited the clip. You understand me? Because he knew he wasn't the first president to authorize that, ladies and gentlemen. We already know that. But these niggas had to come back every year or every 3 years begging for money. And Donald Trump came up with that executive order where they have to come every 10 years, ladies and gentlemen. But once the Democrats got in party, guess what they did? When Biden became the president, guess what he did? He cut that fund for the HBCU. But they ain't gonna tell y'all that. Let's go, but we got the facts here that we're gonna play it.
I mean, you were really upset when you said that, as if he was the first person ever to fund HBCUs.
That was just so crazy to me, because HBCUs have received federal funding since 1965, and then the other lie they tell on
top. This was the graphic that you actually posted right here, y'all, and you said
these niggas defending fuck shit, y'all. That's what they doing. These house niggas. Straight up house niggas, man. He cutting funding for Harvard and all those Princeton, not Princeton, but Harvard, all those colleges where we can't even afford to go there. Right? And you got niggas, once again, jumping out the goddamn window for these colleges, Harvard colleges, that's getting their funding cut. But he didn't cut funding for HBCU, man. Make it make sense, y'all. I told y'all at this point, we all been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and all that shit. These niggas trying to keep this devil life activity going on. That been going on for a long time. And it's being exposed, ladies and gentlemen. It's being exposed. And these niggas, man, it's like, man, it's to the point, like I said, man, we at head cracking now, man. Fuck that shit. We run up on these niggas and we see these niggas anywhere lurking. Hey, we got to run up on them, y'all, and check them and see what's up with them, y'all. You know what I mean? When they off duty, you understand me? When they ain't at work. We got to catch these niggas on the weekends or some shit after work hours. You understand me? Fuck this shit, man. Because this rolling ass, fat ass Martin dude, you need a dagger put in his heart.
They've been getting money since 1966.
So you got him getting that money, and then the other part of that lie is that, well, he's the first to have a White House initiative. No, Jimmy Carter did that. Jimmy Carter, I got to stand up for Georgia because I'm from Atlanta. Jimmy Carter did it. He had HBCU presidents all there. I think they were in the Rose Garden when he created the whole program. So, but they're clapping. People just like, he said, I'm the first to ever think about funding these schools.
No, he didn't. No, the fuck he didn't. Because he knew Obama was there before he was. Come on, man. Stop with the fuck shit, man. Stop with the fuck shit when Obama cut some of the funding, goddammit, and we're going to play that too.
A bipartisan bill that permanently funds HBCUs. The bill provides more than $250 million to these universities and others that serve minority students. This bill, most known for simplifying the FAFSA that determines financial aid for these students.
Still leaving a lot to desire, but to understand what is in the executive order, let's talk to the person who actually played a significant role in getting it done. Omarosa Manigault, who of course is a special assistant to the president. Omarosa, good morning.
Good morning, Roland. Good morning, all the listeners.
So first and foremost, what is actually in the executive order? What is different? What has changed?
Well, Roland, I'm so glad that you asked, because I've been hearing people report about what's in the order, and to my knowledge, the only people who have had a chance to actually see the final one, myself, the president, of course, the staff secretary. So let's go through what's in it as opposed to what is rumored to be in it and not in it. First and foremost, an executive order is a directive given by the president to federal employees, agencies, agency heads, department heads, and secretaries. So this is not a directive to Congress. We don't have that executive power to do that, but it tells the agencies what the president wants to get done and how he wants to do it. And so the first and most important point to make is that this president has done this within the first 40 days of his presidency, making action for historically black colleges and universities as priorities. The first thing we did, and you've heard a lot about this, so let's start there. We've moved the executive director from 3 tiers down, which is where Barack Obama had the director in the Department of Education, who had to report to 3 other people before the Secretary of Education ever heard what he had to say. So that executive director will be housed and sitting in the White House as a part of the senior team that advises what's happening with HBCUs. Why is that important? That's important because we don't have to go through 4 tiers of bureaucracy to find out what's happening with our students in historically black colleges and universities. That person has direct access to the senior team, senior advisors, and affecting the policies that will affect how we improve the conditions of historically black colleges and universities. That's huge. The second thing that we did, and I think probably the most important thing, is to require each agency, each single agency head, to allocate funds, support, and personnel to historically black college and university initiatives. Now, right now, I believe that the former administration had liaisons. They had other jobs to do. In addition to their other jobs to do, they had the title of HBCU liaisons. The individuals that we will have will strictly work on historically black college and university initiatives. The other thing that I'm most excited about is convening the annual summit, but having that White House summit here in the White House. That never happened during the last 8 years. That's going to happen for the first time in this White House.
I got a statement from the UNCF. They talked about what was included in it and what was not.
Well, they don't know. Wait, let me stop you before you even read this.
He trying to start mass confusion. Listen to him, y'all. And then he gonna bring this other brother up there. They gonna jump the sister. That's crazy.
Statement. UNCF does not have the document that's in front of me.
Okay, so let me ask you a question then.
It's speculative.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question.
I'll listen to your statement.
No. Is that a statement? No, just a question.
Okay.
It's just a question.
Sure.
They said that they wanted committing an aspirational goal.
They said, he say, she say shit, y'all.
5% of total federal grant, internship, and cooperative agreement funding, and 10% of total federal contract funding awarded to colleges and universities, which would nearly double federal support to HBCUs, and backing up the federal funding goals with concrete commitments for annual funding growth at each federal agency reflected in agency budgets. Is that in the executive order?
The executive order does not, as you know, that's not the role of the executive order, nor do we have the power to do that. That's in the budget, and you know how government works. We're still right now negotiating the budget, and the official budget will not even be presented for the next 30 days. So I think that's understanding how the process works. We direct what the president's priority is, and then the budget process that's going on right now will determine that funding. But of course, I requested more than 5% for increases in these programs. I think that having gone to 3 black colleges, I know for a fact that 5% is not enough. So I appreciate their submission of 5%, but I believe that we need a 7 to 9% increase in those programs. And we'll be pushing for those increased fundings from my end.
Speaking of HBCU, Howard University is one of them. I'm joined right now by Greg Carr, Director of Afro-American Studies Program at Howard University. Dr. Carr, what are your thoughts about this executive order?
Well, yeah, Ms. Menego, and we know that this is not...
Dr. Carr, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good to talk to you again.
Good to talk to you as well. Yes, we know, of course, that this isn't unusual. Ever since Jimmy Carter, we've seen these executive orders. I have one very specific question as it relates to what Roland you were asking relative to the UNCF suggestions, and that involves Pell Grants, particularly the UNCF's urging to simplify to restore, increase, and protect Pell Grants. And I know that President Walter Kimbrough of Dillard University said
wait, let me stop before you ask too many questions.
No, That's it. I'm just saying the Pell Grant issue. Could you take that up?
Let's start with Pell Grants because I was so saddened by the decision of the previous administration, not just to change Pell Grant lending, but to loan. I'm not bashing. No. Let's be very clear. I have to give you the data so that you know. Don't cut me off because I need to finish my statement. I have to give you the data so that you know the changes that we made. Like you said, this is not a new initiative. But why would we need to do in the first 30 days?
No, not Obama. I'm asking you about what you all are going to do.
The changes for Pell Grants affected 128,000 students at HBCUs. The decision to change Parent Plus loans resulted in 128,000 students to have to drop out of HBCUs.
I'm saying on Obama watch. Your first black president, goddammit.
Hold up, one second. No, I know. Rose, hold up. That 128,000 dropping out, that is not a number that I am familiar with. No, Omarosa. The number that I have received from the Thurgood Marshall Fund, from UNCF, and from others, the number is 28,000. Tom, you got a question, I believe. Go ahead, Tom.
But
Cutting the sister off, that's crazy, man.
Hold tight 1 second, Tom.
It's her show, nigga. You brought her up on your show, nigga. Just to fucking jump her. That's crazy. Fucking house ass nigga.
To black colleges is shameful. It's shameful that black students had to drop out of school because that previous administration didn't care enough.
Obama administration.
If you cut Parent Plus loans, you would affect the attendance, the quality of education at black colleges. And nobody wants to call
what you're going to do about Pell Grants.
Tom, wait. No one wants to call out what the previous administration did.
Actually, hold up.
Listen to Uncle Tom. Y'all.
Hold on 1 second.
They jumping a woman, man. That's crazy.
Let me be clear, Rosa.
That's crazy.
On this show, on TV1 and the Tom Joyner Morning Show, we were extremely critical. Tom wrote letters and met with the president directly. So you can't tell this audience that no one was critical when we were leading the voice of challenging the administration when it came to Pell Grants. Now, Tom asked the question.
That's crazy, man. This coon ass nigga brought the sister up there to jump her.
Tom asked the question,
bitch ass nigga.
Administration advocate in its budget to restore what the UNCF and others are asking for Pell Grants?
Absolutely. You know how much unclaimed Pell Grant money went? Can I mention the last 8 years or no, that's not allowed?
No,
because unclaimed Pell Grant lets you know how difficult the previous administration made for students to get the Pell Grant. So there's unclaimed Pell Grant.
And that was on Obama watch, ladies and gentlemen. Obama and fucking Biden watch. And them niggas still out here tap dancing, and Martin Lawrence gonna bring the sister up there. It was her platform. He gave her his platform just to bring another nigga up there to jump the sister. That's crazy, man. That's fucking crazy.
Grant money. So yes, not only are we going to restore the Pell Grant program so that it's not so difficult, the criteria aren't impossible for students to get the education that they need, Roland. It is, to me, baffling.
Roland Fat Ass Martin was in training right here, y'all, to be the #1 coon ass nigga, which he is to this day. He a coon ass nigga, man. And the rest of them niggas that went to college with that nigga, his frat brothers, fuck all y'all. Let's go to war, nigga.
That people do not recognize the high numbers. When I looked at the numbers of Pell Grant fund that was left over from the previous administration because of those restrictions, absolutely we're going to lift that. And students will be able to fund their education at historically black colleges and universities. When will we do better for black college students? Trust me.
Now they won't talk about this, the fat ass Roland Martins, the Jasmine Crockett's, all those old house niggas that's out there capping for the Democratic Party. They won't do no video on this because they're here to cause mass confusion towards the peoples. You understand me? But here it is. If Donald Trump is so racist, why is he signing an executive order for the HBU colleges? You black hypocrite ass niggas, and y'all ain't gonna do no video and talk about it, are y'all?
Hell no.
Still gonna slander the man.
Right.
With foolishness.
Right.
Let's go.
Goes to show you a whole lot about
the first administration. You made promoting historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, a major priority. This executive order takes existing law on HBCUs and brings it into effect. We're going to be setting up a White House initiative on HBCUs. The basic idea here is making sure that every aspect of your administration is working to ensure that HBCUs are able to do their job as effectively and as efficiently as possible.
Nah, don't sign it. You racist. You don't like black folks. Don't sign it, Trump. That's what they said, right? Hypocrite ass niggas. There it is.
Alright? Right in your motherfucking face. Now let's see what these niggas be out here capping about now. And not only that, it shows you a whole lot of character about King Trump. It shows you his character right there. Even though y'all slandering me, calling me all types of names and whatnot, I'ma still sign this HBCU bill for y'all. You understand me? Because I stand on business. You understand me? Which you niggas don't. Don't stand on no motherfucking business, nigga. Y'all nigga don't do nothing but a bunch of followers out this motherfucker. He say, she say motherfuckers. Go along, get along ass niggas, man. They throw one thing out there and these niggas run with that shit. That's fake narrative information. You heard fat ass Roland Martin saying, well, they said, listen to he say, she say shit. You understand me? Capping like a motherfucker, man. If I was King Trump, goddammit, I think I ought to put my motherfucking frustration up in there. I wouldn't have signed shit, goddammit. But it goes to show you how much of a man he is, that he stands on business. Even though you house coon ass niggas called me this and called me that, goddammit, it's about the kids' future, not you house nigga future. Your future is over, goddammit. Y'all been exposed to all types of rhetoric and foolishness, you understand me? And that's a fact. A 100% fact. Y'all been exposed, man. To this day, y'all still capping. And y'all didn't even attempt to go after Big Ear Obama, who did nothing for black folk. He made it more harder than black folk to get the Pell Grant, goddammit. But they ain't talk about that. See, when you got that history, you can go back to the past, goddammit, and pull it up and show the peoples what the fuck I see. I told y'all we gonna expose everything from these motherfuckers from the left. The hypocrisy that comes from the left and got them house niggas in bed with them, y'all. This goes back to slavery, like I told y'all. They had them old coon ass house niggas selling niggas out, running back, telling master everything. But guess what? And I told y'all this. Trump reminds me of John Brown. God damn it. That's who Trump reminds me of, John Brown. God damn it. They don't want to tell y'all about that, but it seems that people only get credit when they're no longer here. You understand me? Then they admire people when they gone. You understand me? So I know what it is, King Trump. And the American people know what it is. Facts. You here for the American people, to put American people first. And we understand that. You just got a few in the bunch of them house niggas and them house nigga crackers. Cause like I said, we got house nigga crackers and we got house niggas. You heard? And that's a fact. But why you say they got house nigga crackers? Because that house nigga cracker went and tried to burn down motherfucking Josh Shapiro spot mansion, goddammit. That's a house nigga cracker for you. You understand me? You got house niggas that do that same shit. You understand me? In the hood every day. In the community every day. But these fat ass Roland Martin and all these motherfuckers with these platforms and all these motherfuckers that's in the house don't advocate for black violence to come to a cease. You understand me? That's how they get paid, ladies and gentlemen. And they just closed the hospital down around this joint, so it's gonna be like people gonna die, like I said. And it's not harsh, I'm saying it, but it's the truth, it's facts. Right now, somebody needed the goddamn hospital. Early this morning. Or later on that night, they needed it. God damn it. You understand me? Check. Check, heathens. And another thing. Them student loans. Them student loans you niggas went out there and half y'all ain't even using the degree you went to school for. That's another big scam. The biggest scam in history is lotteries and going back to school to get a motherfucking degree that's gonna cost you every bit of $100,000. Depends on what degree you're trying to get. You see what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? So you see, in one hand, King Trump cut funding for Harvard. That's a high expensive college that our peoples can't afford. You understand me? You gotta be a house nigga, a born house nigga to go to Harvard, you heard? And some of them go to these colleges and they stupid as a motherfucker, I told y'all that. Look at Letitia James. I graduated from Harvard. Look where you at now, though. See what I'm saying? So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes some people with degrees is stupider than, dumber than dumb. And trying to dumb you down with their foolishness. You know what I mean? Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. I told y'all they got an agenda out this motherfucker. And it's under George Soros and Alex Soros banner. You heard? It's under their fucking banner, y'all. And we see the play. But you got these niggas still capping. And absolutely they out here capping, getting them crumbs off the plate, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm showing you the definition of house niggas getting crumbs off the plate. Because you can present the facts in their face. And they're still denied. Ladies and gentlemen. They're still denied the shit, y'all. Like what King Trump just did yesterday for HBCU colleges. They'll come up with some rhetoric. You understand me? They'll come up with some rhetoric. Oh, well, you know, that's just for white folks to go under that Pell Grant. Black folk can't go on that. Man, shut the fuck up, niggas. Y'all come up with any fucking excuse to defend fuck shit. And that's the absolutely fact and truth y'all being exposed, goddammit, of all of y'all wickedness and lies and hypocrisy, nigga. All you house niggas, man. And like I said, I don't mean all my people. Y'all know what it is. When we come up here and we be ranting, y'all, and you see another black man or a black woman ranting, they not talking about the whole community, y'all. There's certain motherfuckers that we targeting, y'all. Know what I mean? There's certain motherfuckers that we targeting, y'all. Not all the African-American community. So when I come up here and I'm raising hell and saying and shit, talking my shit, I ain't talking about all my peoples. It's a percentage of them house niggas I'm talking about. You understand me, ladies and gentlemen? And you see them because they right there in our face. They not hiding anymore. They right there in our face, y'all. Understand me? So why not expose these old house niggas? You understand me? God damn it, I'ma be there fire, god damn it. I'ma be there goddamn. Yes. Bunch of heathens, man. Incapable heathens out this motherfucker. Capping like a motherfucker. Capping like Captain Caveman out this motherfucker. But yeah, y'all, them loans y'all went to school for and ain't using them degrees, god damn it. I think you might want to start using that degree. Alright, you know what I mean? I think you might want to start using that degree and shit. Because they about to garnish y'all wages, man. They always say, see, look what Trump doing, man. He gonna go on and shut the fuck up. Ain't nothing free around this motherfucker. Told you niggas, we slaves in this motherfucker. Every last single one of us, modern day slaves. God damn it. Ain't nothing free. God damn it. Nothing at all is free. Should have went to the free college. Should have went to the free college, god damn it. But they about to start taxing them up, garnishing them wages, nigga. If you don't call and make up some type of payment arrangements to pay that money back. God damn it. Let's keep it all the way funky, us brothers. been getting hit, garnishing our checks since the beginning of, you understand me? Since the beginning, goddammit. I'm talking about child support. See what I'm saying? They garnish your wage, freeze your account. So, you know what I mean? Nothing new that the brothers ain't already seen. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing new the brothers ain't already seen. There's brothers now out there still getting their checks and shit garnished from child support, from you heathens that just wanted to lay down and make babies, god damn it, so you can stay on the system forever. God damn it. Fuck out of here. Welcome to the real world, god damn it. Them loans, college loans, god damn it. You better call and make some type of payment arrangements to pay that money back. They're gonna start garnishing your check. Them letters should be going out this week or next week. You understand me? So when you get the letter, when you get the letter in the mail, don't say you wasn't warned. Don't say I didn't warn you about playing them whole games. You understand me? And it's going down. It's going down, 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 down. I feel like, damn, we can't, man, Trump. And that's all I'm hearing, man. Look, man, your man's got us in all this turn. Man, shut the fuck up, nigga. How about that? How about shut the fuck up? Close your legs, you bitch. How about that? Man only been in office, goddammit, 4 months, 5 months at the most. Goddammit. He's still fixing that foolishness from the last administration that just left out. Goddammit. Fuck out of here with that shit, man. Y'all niggas straight defending fuck shit. All you niggas out there. I don't give a fuck if I lose friends on who the fuck I voted for. You wasn't my friend anyway, goddammit. Fuck you. How about that? Fuck out of here, nigga. What I eat, you don't shit, nigga. Let's get the fuck out your feelings, nigga. Old house ass niggas. You got some old house niggas, some old broke ass house niggas too around this motherfucker. That's a fact, though. Oh, man, look what your man's doing, man. Shut the fuck up. Look what your man's did, nigga. Look what your man's did when they was in office. Look what your bitch did when she was in office, nigga. Oh, man, look what your man's doing. Look what your bitch did. How about that? Look what your bitch did, nigga. Shit, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden was the worst ever president in history. They already said it. Shit, she ain't even get elected. The American people voted for Trump, goddammit. You niggas is just a bunch of broke ass niggas that just love to cause mass confusion all the time, goddammit. That's all y'all known for is mass confusion. Y'all kill each other, goddammit. That's all y'all known for, nigga. Y'all ain't known for nothing else. Y'all ain't known to have no businesses, owning your own house and all that shit. Nigga, fuck out of here, you old house niggas. Cornball ass niggas. You still in the same predicament you was when that bitch Kamala Harris was in office, nigga. King Trump did more than these motherfuckers did within 4 years, nigga. Fuck out of here. Timid ass house niggas. Give a damn about you niggas. What was going on there? Understand me? So of course them niggas gonna cry, y'all. They gonna cry wolf like a motherfucker. You understand me? That's a fact. Like I said, get the fuck out your feelings, nigga. Niggas and bitches. In their feelings like a motherfucker. Your man's man got us all, man. Oh, just be, man, shut the fuck up. Y'all niggas got that juice in y'all system, nigga. That bitch made y'all line up with and taking your arm, nigga. How about that? That's why y'all so confused out this motherfucker. I know what it is, nigga. You been broke, nigga. You been broke like a motherfucker, nigga. When you took that jab, it was over for you. That's a 100% fact. A 100% fact. Not fiction. Yeah, I just wanted to come up this morning. Y'all already know. Talk my shit. Nice little ride around. Go back to the headquarters. Fall back. Fall back like a motherfucker. Ladies and gentlemen, we're finishing up down at the park, I see. Just gotta get with these streets now, that's all. But I ain't, for right now, and I told y'all what mission I've been on with these videos, exposing the devil himself. Straight up. These coon-ass house niggas. Democratic could never win another election in that president house for a minute. Y'all hear me? So don't let them niggas game y'all up and tell y'all Trump doing this, Trump doing that. Trump cleaning up the mess from the Biden-Harris administration, ladies and gentlemen. That's what he's doing. And if he ain't give a damn about black folk, he damn sure wouldn't have signed that executive order yesterday for the HBCU colleges, all right? So like I said, y'all, stop listening to these niggas, y'all. These niggas is here to sell you out. As you already know, they're here to sell you out. They don't give a damn about you. At all. At all. They getting little crumbs off the plate, y'all.